What's up, everybody? Welcome to Superman Franchise in Review from ChimiComics. That's right, it's a series where we review the Superman franchise, every movie in the Superman franchise, and we rank them. Today's video is going to be focusing on Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut. We decided to do the Richard Donner cut because we felt that that's what the true movie was meant to be. And we'll discuss on what was involved in the Lester cut, which is who took over the Superman 2 after Richard Donner was let go. So, to start us out, let's get some overall thoughts of the movie.
Oh boy.
Hell yay.
Would y'all consider this a good movie? Would you recommend watching it?
It's watchable. I don't know if I put it
I wouldn't
good.
say it's good, watchable, because it's funny how bad it is.
I'd watch it. I think it's good. I think it's a good...
What kind of loopy
Superman
land have
movie.
we entered where Tanner likes things and Riley doesn't?
I know, right?
This is the
No, it's
direct
a Superman
I
movie.
don't like this world.
I don't either.
In my opinion...
Let's go back.
In my opinion, this is the better Superman movie. And I might be calling it, but I think it might be the best Superman movie in the franchise.
Wow. The bar is not high.
No.
Are you... What? You mean
Yes.
of the four?
All of them.
All of them.
Including Man of Steel?
Including Man of Steel.
You're crazy.
You're crazy. Yeah. You're crazy.
It's better than the first one, but it's not that good.
You got to look at it with the view of what it was in its time. And what it was in its time was insanely impressive.
So was the first one, but
Yeah.
it wasn't good.
The first one was good, in my
I
opinion.
don't know.
In your opinion.
There's too many holes.
It doesn't stick to the source material.
That's true. A lot of that is different.
And
And you're a Superman fan,
Yeah.
so I don't understand that.
It's a sign of its times, and I
well,
respect that.
Tanner's different from you because, I mean, we can turn this around with the new Joker movie.
I'm just saying, if I saw this movie in the 80s, I would be insanely impressed.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
We would all be.
Yeah.
The music is really good. The plot is really good. So for its
Is
thing,
the plot good, though?
Yes,
I mean, you
I
got
think so.
Mr.
I think Zod is a great villain.
Lex Luthor, though.
I think Lex Luthor is a great villain in
Not
this one.
in this. No, I don't
I
think,
think
he's a
he
good villain.
is.
He's great comic relief.
No, I think he's good a villain.
No.
He's a fun villain,
He's
but
fun. He's not Lex.
he's
though.
not Lex.
He's not Lex. He's a tycoon.
He
He's
manipulates 3 demigods to fight the person he hates most.
right.
And then they say they're
But-
gonna kill him, and he's like, "Wait, but I brought you Superman." Da, 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 da. I
Which
want
is what
Cuba.
Lex would do.
I want Cuba. Yeah,
Which is
Lex
what
Luthor
Lex would
wants
do.
Cuba.
Lex wants to rule.
He doesn't want Cuba, though. He doesn't want Australia. He doesn't want to build beachfront property. He's not a tycoon,
He is a tycoon.
but not
How
like
do you
that.
think Lex Luthor got rich?
Because he was a capitalist, and he's
Okay, so this Lex Luthor is a capitalist. Correct me if I'm wrong.
He's a cartoony capitalist.
That's fine.
Yeah.
The whole movie
Back
is a
me up,
cartoony.
buddy.
What he's trying to say is that he's just evil for the sake of being,
Being evil,
Yeah.
yes.
He's not like
I agree with that.
protecting humanity
I agree with that.
or like
His
Comic
motivations are
Rex.
stupid.
Yep.
would have probably sided with Superman, but come up with a way to kill him in the end
Yeah.
anyway.
Oh yeah, he would have definitely
Every
put them
time-
against each other, though, and that's exactly
Well,
what he
yeah.
did.
The Lex
But-
Luthor I read in the comics, every time he met with Zod, he would have people standing by with kryptonite.
Yeah.
But also, he would have created a big Lex suit.
Yeah.
Which they've
And
they,
people-
haven't
They
done in
couldn't
these
do
movies.
that at the time.
They could have done something
could've-
like
No,
that.
they couldn't.
They could have.
No.
It could have been a small suit.
Yeah.
And they put laser beams on it or something.
Was Lex Luthor in the 80s? Did he even have the Lex suit at that time?
He's always had the
Yeah.
Lex suit.
Even then, though?
yes.
That far back.
Yes.
Since the beginning,
The
he's had
70s
the
and
suit.
80s, he's had the suit that he could fight him with?
I'm fairly certain he had some kind of suit way back in the beginning.
I mean, I don't know, so I can't argue, but
I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure.
yeah,
Riley knows a lot about comics. I would give
He
him the
does,
benefit
but-
of the doubt.
I just don't like this interpretation of Lex Luthor.
I don't either.
I like him. I think Gene
I think
Hackman
he's
makes a
just-
great Lex Luthor.
I think he's just evil.
Yeah.
And not like, oh, he has a point evil. You know,
Like,
that's
yeah,
the Lex
yeah.
Luthor I love.
Yeah, I do like that he has a point, Lex Luthor, but I'm not ashamed of him being I'm evil.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah.
It just doesn't fit the character.
Well, you've also got
Think it
the
was
problem
fine.
with the Red Sun taking the powers for good.
Mm.
That's not a thing. The Phantom Zone thing is really dumb, but I get it. It's the thing of the time. Zod is wimpy looking. He's
Yeah,
not,
but the
he's not,
thing is,
like,
the thing,
strong.
well, the thing with the Superman characters is they're not strong. They're not supposed to be strong.
Zod is.
Yeah.
Well,
Zod's
they're
a
not-
general.
it doesn't matter.
it does.
No, it doesn't matter
Yeah, it
because
does.
when you land on Earth, you're still who you are.
Yeah, and he's a general.
Exactly. I'm
Yeah.
saying he should be a big, strong guy.
Yeah.
I'm okay with him being normal.
He's supposed to be like the antithesis of Superman.
But look at Superman. Does Superman look
Yeah.
like a
Superman
big
is
strong?
Clark.
Yes.
In this movie,
Yes.
I think he still looks
He's
scrawny.
He's quite a bit more buff
Mhm.
than Zod.
Eh.
Did you see when he picked him up one-handed?
Yeah.
He like folded into a noodle.
So you wanted him.
He was so tiny.
So you wanted him to be more like the little dumb character in this movie, the guy with the beard, the
Give him a
I
different.
wanted to
head,
look like that,
but with a
but
different
not
head.
stupid. Yeah.
Okay.
Give him a different face and head.
I
too,
liked that
'cause-
dynamic though between the three Kryptonians.
Oh, that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But
He has
Zod,
one big guy, one girl, and
exactly. But I'm saying that
Zod
Zod
needs to
shouldn't
be
be
big.
so wimpy.
then yeah,
You could still
I
have the
didn't think
big
he
guy,
looked that wimpy. I thought he looked
but
evil.
Zod be still kind of big.
Yeah,
He had a weird shaped head.
Thank you.
All of them
Thank
did,
you.
kinda.
And like
if you
I was
look at
also
it.
confused with the dynamic between Jor-El and Superman. Like at points during the movie,
I'll correct this after you're done.
Gene Hackman goes in there and he's like putting these crystals in for documents of him just speaking. And then there's a point in the movie where he's talking actually to him,
Yeah.
his consciousness or whatever that was saved into the computer thing. So I don't get that.
Yeah, why would Jor-El give
Yeah, why
Luthor
would he
the
give him
information?
those
Also,
crystals if
another
he can
thing to
talk to
say-
him in real time?
Why
So-
was Miss Thunstruck or whatever her name is still with Lex? She helped Superman last movie. That's another
So
thing.
again, the
Can you
Richard
take that?
Donner cut added Marlon Brando again. Marlon Brando was not in the original cut of this movie.
Okay.
So that explains that.
Okay.
The reason he wasn't in this cut of the movie is because Marlon Brando got 18% of the profits of Superman 1.
Mm-hmm.
And they did not want to give him that much money again.
So, like, there's no recordings of him speaking at all in the original.
in the
cut?
original, they replace him with Superman's mom.
Okay.
And there's none of that. He doesn't. Lex Luthor finds the cave, but he doesn't find like Superman or anything like that. He
So
gets
what
one
does
of
he
those.
do?
So he gets one of those little data things, puts it in, and it shows the three exile people, and it's just that clip of the exile people. I don't know how it does that, but that's how it does it. I think it shows maybe like a flashback to the first movie, but I don't really
You
know.
mean Zod and his people?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
And there's
And
also the
that's-
plot hole of how he even knew where to find
Where
the
it
Fortress
was,
of
yes.
Solitude. Just like he figured
He was
out how
holding
That
kryptonite-
one's still there. I can't explain that one away.
Superman seeking device.
Yeah.
I can't explain that one away, but I can't explain why Gene Hackman, Miss Tessmacher, and Otis are only at the beginning of the movie.
I also think it's dumb to like not let Superman and Lois be together.
Yeah.
Like, there's literally no reason.
There isn't. But the reason that Otis, Lex Luthor, and Miss Tessmacher aren't in that movie is when Richard Donner shot his cut, they stopped. After he finished his cut, they did not come back for reshoots, which was all of Lester's shooting. So that's why you don't see them at the end, and that's why you don't see where they went or anything like
Well,
that.
I mean, Otis, I get he didn't escape.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like the rest of them,
Yeah.
it was like they stopped shooting after that.
Miss whatever her face is.
And they replaced a couple scenes with Lex Luthor in the other cut with like the back of a bald guy in a wig, or like just like voiceover of.
Now I want to watch the original cut.
I do too. I want to watch the original cut now because I'm curious on how different it is.
It
But
sounds a lot different.
we can get into that with the plot. We can kind of talk about what's different.
And like what you were explaining with the ending being changed, like that
Yeah.
changes literally everything.
It legit does. Okay, so let's
Going
get into
forward.
the plot, boys. And we can add our comments in there. So plot. Before the destruction of we start with the scene from the first movie. We see that it's Zod and his cronies in the little hula hoop
It's a little
chamber
recap
of
the
darkness,
first
and it's the
movie, yeah.
first movie of how they got arrested and why.
It's literally the scene
Yeah.
in the first
It's
movie.
legit the scene,
It's
which
a
again
replay.
is because Marlon Brando's not there anymore.
Right.
So then we get to see how they get put in this Phantom Zone, and we get to see how they get out of it, which is how when Superman lets go of the hydrogen bombs in the first movie, they explode.
The
and
500 megatons.
somehow they let them out of the Phantom Zone. Not really sure how that happens, but that's what happens. So then they are released, and then they realize that the yellow light gives them powers, and they kill a bunch of astronauts
Yeah.
who are
On the
Russian.
moon, right?
Oh,
Cosmonauts.
and I forgot to mention, they're all the Zod people's powers. They're very inconsistent.
Yes.
Like that girl gets bitten by a snake, which couldn't happen. She's invulnerable. She couldn't get bitten. She wouldn't have went like ow.
Yep.
Yeah, she-
And he lasers that guy's shotgun, and it floats toward
Yeah.
him.
like he had telekinesis.
That
for a
doesn't
second.
happen. But go on.
So then
digress.
we have Clark and Lois in the Daily Planet, and they get sent to go to Niagara Falls on a honeymoon thing. Did y'all understand what they were investigating?
He
Investigating? I
said
didn't hear it.
he said that
The
the
hotel
hotels were
companies were-
overcharging people.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's what they go to do it.
What a story.
Yes. So
In Canada,
Lois
by the way.
starts to suspect that Clark is Superman. She even does the thing where she's drawing on the newspaper, and she's like, "Oh, that's him. Who could it be?" So then, welcome. So then, that night, he tries to sell. He saves a fallen kid who falls off the side of Niagara Falls.
That kid was stupid.
I could be wrong, just from what I've read, but this is weird because on Wikipedia it says one thing, on IMDb it says another. So on Wikipedia it says that when she notices he's Superman when he goes to save the kid, he's not there, just like we saw in our cut. However, on IMDb it talks about how he saves Lois from falling off of Niagara Falls. And by the way, in this, there is no mention of her trying to commit suicide at the start of the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
There's no
remember-
mention of that, so that wasn't in the cut.
Remember
There's
when
no
she
mention
jumped
of
out
him
the
pointing
building?
the gun at him either. So what happens in the other cut is that she puts his glasses in a lit fireplace, and she sees him take them out of it without getting burnt.
One thing I don't get, since Superman, he probably would have felt
And
the bullet.
then she forces him to admit that he's Superman by that.
Okay, question though. She in our cut of the movie, she has a gun in the
Yeah.
hotel room and shoots at him,
Yep.
and then nothing happens. Wouldn't he have felt that no bullet actually hit him because they
Yeah.
were blanks?
Yeah.
So I mean, he basically just gave up for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
He
to
could've
him,
just
does
been
he
like-
even feel bullets?
I think he would
That's
feel.
a good question.
I mean, do you feel this?
But
yes.
but also
Then he probably would feel the bullet.
but also
hit.
I was listening for a ricochet.
Me too.
Well, yeah.
I thought it was blanks too. As soon as she shot, I was like, it's probably blanks.
Yeah, I was like, but the quality of these movies, I'm thinking, oh, okay, it just
yeah. It
just
just
didn't make a
it's
sound.
a prop gun. You're right. So what he does, he takes her to the Fortress of Solitude in the Arctic after he meets he's Superman to show her his origins and his past.
they get it on.
Superman declares his love for Lois, and he
yeah.
wants to spend his
Oh,
life with her,
yeah.
which, by the way, feels very weird.
Rushed, very rushed.
It's rushed, And it's also very weird because
'Cause-
in this movie, we are given every indication that Lois fucking hates Clark.
Yeah.
She thinks Clark is an imbecile.
She only likes Superman, and then what does he do? He changes himself into just Clark.
Into just
Right.
Clark, who she
Which
hates.
Instantly. I don't understand that.
I'm wondering if that's different in here. So, oh, actually, no, it's the same. So, after conferring with the artificial intelligence of his mother, Lara, not Jor-El, so not Marlon Brando, he talks to his mom. He removes his sun powers. He removes his superpowers by exposing himself to red Kryptonian sunlight in a crystal chamber, becoming mortal.
Flavored.
Cherry.
So I wonder if that's a little different in the original cut, and it kind of makes more sense to why he would want to be human. Maybe something in that mom conversation,
Maybe.
and that's just why we don't understand, because they used a cut that didn't
Makes sense.
know the full plot. They only shot 75% of the movie in the Richard Donner cut.
So, like, you mean they shot most of the movie and then
75%.
removed him?
Yep.
And
So
then-
you remember they were shot first and second movie at the same time.
But I don't get why.
And the reason he was removed is because the Richard Donner went way over budget.
Right.
If you didn't notice by all the explosions.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
I read something, and it was like Richard Donner said that they asked him about the budget, and he said, "Y'all didn't give me a budget."
You
Which
gave
is
me a
probably
blank
not
check.
what you say when you're being asked
Probably
by
not.
your producers why you're spending so much money.
But, like, my question is, if most of it was shot already,
Mhm.
and we just watched the Richard Donner cut,
Right.
and this cut doesn't make sense,
Yep.
why?
Why did we?
You would think this one would make more sense.
Yeah, you would think. Well,
But it makes, from what I'm hearing, it makes even less sense than the original cut did.
there are a few things that he changed that are different from the original cut that I think are better.
Okay.
One being the kiss that erases Lois's memory,
Okay, yeah.
and the other being him throwing an S that wraps around Zod and them and knocks them over.
Oh, that's what happened?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah,
that's
Superpower.
rough.
So I
S
think that's
throw.
better, but
I
also
agree.
I don't believe that should be replaced by Superman doing the powers from the first movie. But I'm also confused on, was that the original ending to the first movie? Because from what I was reading, they used the ending from the first. They used the same go around the world
But why?
to reverse time.
But why?
I have no idea.
Because they just wanted to waste our time with a story that never even happened.
No idea
So-
why they kept it.
By the luck of the draw, we watched Superman rewind time twice.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. We did.
What a unique experience.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
So then he goes to a diner and he gets beaten up by a truck driver named Rocky.
Named Rocky.
Rocky is the best villain.
He
I could
completely
have done without this whole scene.
he completely
In the
kicks
Superman-
Clark's ass.
He is the best villain in the Superman franchise, top notch. And I will argue that all day, and you know why? Because everyone in the room wanted to see Rocky get his ass kicked.
Yeah.
And no other villain in these two movies, in the Christopher Reeves, I didn't mean to say whole franchise. In the Christopher Reeve movies that we have watched, he is the one that I wanted to see get his ass kicked the most.
That makes him a good villain.
And that makes him a great villain.
I
a
mean,
good point.
you already hate this guy because he's
Yeah.
just a total
He's just a
douchebag
dick.
to everyone. He's flirting with Lois, sneezily.
And he's a completely normal guy.
Yeah. And Clark's like, "You want to take this outside?" And he's like, "All right, after you." And then he like does a low blow and shoves him through a window.
As you do.
As you do. Clark turned around and he was like, "You just don't know where to stay down." He just beat him up again. And
then Clark is dying.
yeah, pretty much dying.
My favorite part is that Clark never even tries to fight him.
I know.
Really.
Nope.
He just kind of stares at him.
It-
Menacingly.
that makes me think. I had this idea of with the Batman v Superman stuff.
Did Superman ever punch anyone in the first movie?
I don't think he did.
I'm
don't
trying to
think he
think,
did.
and I
I
don't
don't
remember
think he
that.
Don't think he did.
But yeah,
Like I said,
So-
remember when he apprehended the
He just grabbed him. Yeah.
he just grabbed him, and then the guy
robber,
was like,
the
"I
cat
give up."
burglar. Yeah, he just grabbed him. He's like, "Oh, okay."
I don't think he did.
So, okay, in theory, this Superman has never thrown a punch, so it makes sense. That
It
he
does
didn't
kind of
actually
make sense.
fight.
It does kind of make sense now that you say that. Yep. He's right. And Clark, he never really had to.
He didn't know what to do. He's
I
like,
mean, every
can't-
time he's
I
got
can't just pick
punched.
him up and fly him out of here.
Every time he got punched, it was like he punched back anyways. So
Yeah.
that makes sense. So moving on, after that happens, the Zod gang become they travel to the White House and they declare that they are basically that everyone needs to surrender to them.
Huge
They blow up
shootout.
some tanks.
huge shootout in the White House, by the
There's
way.
a huge shootout.
I mean,
in the
there's a
White
guy with a
House.
bazooka, and I'm like,
In the hallway.
In the hallway, and me and Robert both like, back blast. We're gonna blow out the entire wall.
And
One guy gets thrown through the wall and there's bricks coming down.
Yeah, and another guy with a bazooka
Behind the drywall.
shoots a chandelier.
Yeah, they throw a guy into the guy with a bazooka, and he falls.
Only the chandelier
shoots
falls.
a chandelier.
Yeah, only
it
the
doesn't blow
chandelier
up
falls.
the chandelier; it just falls on
It's
him.
Nerf or nothing.
Yeah,
So
that's pretty much what they're doing.
So-
the bullets can't hurt him.
after that, they go on TV and everybody starts mentioning Superman will stop you. Superman will do this. So he's like, "You will all surrender to me. You will all kneel before Zod,
And you just
and
Yeah.
Superman will come
And then
because I am Zod." Zod,
right before it is, Zod!
which I loved. Clark and Lois learn of that through TV and realize that they can't fight Zod.
Yeah.
Like, humans can't fight him. So, what happens? He tries to go to regain his powers, and at the time, Lex Luthor and Miss Tessmacher break out of jail, leaving Otis behind. They infiltrate the Fortress of Solitude, and Luthor learns of the connection to Jor-El and General Zod, and he finds Zod at the White House and tells him that Superman is the son of Jor-El.
But wait.
that happened.
In the original cut, if that wasn't him, then how does he know about Jor-El?
I have no idea.
When he talks to Zod.
He really hated his wife
Maybe,
too.
like I said, if it was just like playing a clip of the movie before, then that would make sense.
Mhm.
Like if it was a hologram of what exactly happens. I don't know. I didn't
I
see
know.
this movie.
I know, I'm just throwing it out.
Watch everybody who's watching this be like, did that guy even watch the original cut? No, the answer is no. I am reading a summary online.
We should have all watched different cuts.
We should have.
Gosh,
That would have been cool, actually.
Yeah, well,
that would have been cool. We
None
all
of
have
us would
different
have known
perspectives.
what was going on when we met to talk about.
Wait, what?
Remember that scene?
What movie did you see?
Remember when the dumb one jumped on top of Superman and put him in the ground?
Oh, that happened in my cut too.
Oh.
Are you're telling me in your cut he doesn't fly around the world in reverse time again?
So you're telling me he kisses Lois and takes away her memory?
Yeah.
We some
So-
kind of Suicide Squad?
We're gonna have to go back and watch it sometime.
The
Oh, God.
so after that, Luthor says, "I will lead you to Superman in exchange of control of Australia,"
That's
and he wants to use it for land
Even you
development.
have to admit that's really dumb.
really dumb.
He wants beachfront property,
That's
and
stupid.
Australia is all beachfront property.
Not the Outback.
No one stays in the outback.
Aborigines.
Do you not know about Australia?
Aborigines.
No one lives there.
It's literally
Aborigines.
surrounded by water in its entirety.
But the
it's all
outback.
beachfront.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, the coast of it is beachfront.
Yeah, but
There's
you do
still
know,
land.
like,
Exactly.
no one lives in the middle of Australia.
The
no one.
Aborigines.
Okay, so
Play the freaking didgeridoo, man.
so after that, they go to the offices of the Daily Planet to find Superman, who Lex still knows is Clark for some
Yeah,
reason.
for some reason.
No,
he's
no,
the-
they're finding Lois.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
to
Superman.
lead him
He
to
doesn't
Superman.
know.
Because
Gotcha,
she
gotcha.
does all the
That makes sense.
interviews and
So Superman arrives after using the green crystal to restore his powers, and he battles them.
So that wasn't kryptonite?
whatnot.
No.
Okay.
It's just a green crystal.
Just a green
See,
crystal.
here's my
It's
idea.
the backup.
I will pitch you
It's
this
the
idea.
contingency plan unless Superman. It's like Superman. We
Yeah.
know you're gonna f up. Here's what you need.
Here is my pitch. That crystal is actually kryptonite,
And
right? And he has
yeah.
no powers. He takes that, and he defeats Zod and all of them with the kryptonite, with no powers.
We just saw Superman get his ass kicked
This.
But now he has kryptonite.
by a bar guy.
But they are not bar guys.
Yeah, they
True.
like Superman, depend on their strength and invulnerability this
Do
entire
they, though?
time. I mean,
Because
I
they
will
just
say
learned
they
of
do,
their powers and they were generals
That's
on
true.
their planet.
That's true. They
which is
probably
y'all's
do-
argument from
No,
before.
They probably do know martial arts
No,
and
that's
stuff.
the difference between Red Sun and Kryptonite. A Red Sun would take their powers and they would still be good enough to beat him. But with Kryptonite, they would
They're
be
weak.
poisoned.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's true.
That would have been cool.
He could beat them.
It would be cool, but then we wouldn't have Superman back. He'd be
And
like,
given
"Who
how-
needs Superman?
Yeah.
I'm Lex Luthor now.
Given how potent it
Look
was,
at my armor."
given how potent it was in the first movie, that Kryptonite
Yeah.
would affect all three of them.
Oh,
Yeah, because it affected him right when he got it out
You're
of the
right.
case, and he was standing in the room.
You're
with
right.
it.
I just.
I think it's a good idea.
I think it is too.
Make that movie, right?
Okay,
I'll
So
star. I'll
the
star
Riley
in it.
Davis cut.
The Riley Davis cut.
What character should I play? Because I am an actor.
You're the guy who was trying to kick the fire out of the car.
I get no respect
Stupid
on this
car.
channel.
Stupid car being
No
on
respect
fire.
at all.
Who do
Hey,
you think you
shout
are?
out to the guy that got thrown aside by Zod in the Daily Planet.
Yeah.
That was a harsh throw. Did you see
Yeah.
it?
Fantastic acting.
As
by
soon
that
as he
guy.
walked in, Zod backhands and he goes, You're that
Incredible.
guy.
Incredible.
Thanks.
So,
So much respect.
Superman realizes the only way to stop Zod is by luring them to the Fortress of Solitude, but that's after he fights with them for a little while, and there's a huge fight scene. They get thrown into a Coca-Cola sign. At one point, Zod realizes that Superman
Sponsorships.
likes people, so he's like, I'm just going to F with a lot of people and make Superman angry.
yeah,
and
he
he
starts
does.
shooting cars with
So
his
then
laser
Superman's like,
vision.
I need to lead them away from people. So he takes them back to the fortress. So then he flies off, and then they know where he's going. So Zod
They know
and
where
Ursa
he's going.
and Non kidnap Lois and Luthor to go to the Fortress of Solitude. And he plans to kill all of them. Zod plans to kill all of them. So then he tries to get Luthor to lure the three of them
I
into
just
the
thought of
crystal
something.
chamber to depower them, but Luthor, eager to get back Zod's favor, reveals the chamber's secrets to the villain.
Tanner, I believe Riley thought of something.
I was just laughing about how Zod always tries to have Luthor killed in every scene.
Yeah.
I just thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
That is funny.
And they're just like, wait, man, wait.
Start with him. What? Me? No!
No.
Eventually, I know, I appreciate him doing his napkin. That was
Yeah.
incredible.
Wait a minute.
That was incredible.
And
But
I'll give it to this Lex. He comes up with a way to save himself and gets another body of land.
he gets Cuba.
Yeah, he's like, and then at the
I
end,
want
of-
Cuba too.
when he tells him Superman's
Master
plan,
negotiator.
he's like, Zod calls him. He's like, all right, ruler of Australia, start the machine. Like he's like, all right, you're amusing me. I will keep you around, little fool.
So he says you could use this machine. Zod uses it, and he forces him into the chamber, which will take Superman's powers away again in his head. Superman has reversed it, and now it takes the powers away from Zod,
Also,
Ursa, and
pertaining to
Or.
the scene, I love how this is another example of him just being evil for the sake of being evil.
Yeah.
He betrays Superman, and instead of there being only one powered up Kryptonian who is good, there's three that are evil. Where does he win in that? You see what I mean?
See, that's why I don't like this Lex.
He thinks that after they kill Superman, he can just be like, "Oh, I will now get my land," and Superman is not.
Does he
here.
really though? Because they try to have him killed every scene.
This is true.
This is why that's
He's
not
thinking that they
Lex.
only had tried to kill him because they haven't killed Superman yet.
I just don't think this Lex has a lot of common sense.
No, he doesn't.
when
I
it
mean,
comes to survival.
let's look back when he was with Miss Tustrucker, and she's
Tessmacher.
Tessmacher, or whatever her name is. I can't remember her name, but
Fuddrucker.
whatever. Tessmacher. She rescues him from the prison, and he's like, "All right, Mister Miss what's her name again?
Tessmacher.
Miss Tessmacher. Due north. She's like, north is over there, and he's like, due north.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, and then that's what I meant. And then they're in the solitude. He's like, this way. And she's like, no, Lex, it's this way. And he's like, oh, that's what I meant. Like, he's an idiot. He's a bumbling fool the entire time.
Yeah, but when Lex Luthor's a lot wrong, he'll never admit he's wrong.
But he's not supposed to be
wrong.
No, but still. Okay, so
your point invalid.
So after they activate it, Superman acts like he's all dispowered and he kneels before Zod. But then he crushes his hand and throws him into a crevice. And obviously Superman reconfigured it.
And
Nod falls into another crevice when trying to fly over it.
He's like, oh, whoa!
Yeah, and then Lois knocks the girl into the crevice because she's Lois.
We didn't even talk about my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah.
Which is?
Well, that
Their
big
fight
action
scene.
sequence
Yeah.
in the city.
I did talk about that.
When that guy just shoves Superman through the street.
Oh, yeah, that is my favorite scene, too.
he just...
You ever played Mario? He Goomba stomped him.
He just straight up coffin style. Stomps on Superman's head. They go through the street. And there's
then-
a hole this big.
Yeah. 1981, though, these are all insanely impressive.
The explosions were cool.
Yeah.
Every car
The
on the
whole
street
fight
exploded.
scene was impressive. Superman, after he gets knocked through the street, hits him, or whatever, flies out and goes through a building.
Oh, I
That was
agree.
cool.
I love
There
the
was
whole
also
scene.
some cheesy things. Remember when he first punched Nod and he went, whoa!
I'm glad he went
was
over budget for
he
the
was
scene.
super
Me
slow,
too.
though. When he punched Nod originally.
This is the scene that makes it better than the first one for me.
Yeah.
Because it was so good.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but remember when he first punches Nod and he spins really slow into that radio tower? He's just like, oh.
And then he immediately hits the Empire State Building.
Yeah.
Which is like 20 blocks away.
Yeah.
And the top thing falls off of it. That was funny. And then Superman catches the top thing.
I'm going to go
and then
ahead
he
and
just
say
waves
it.
at people and smiles.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. Nod is my favorite character in this movie. He's just his facial expressions, his noises.
There's one point where he's about to start flying and he goes,
Yes. And then in the fight scene, when him and the girl are going at him, it cuts to him and he looks like a freaking vampire. You remember?
They were all pasty. They were all pasty ghosts.
he has the makeup, yeah.
So
And
after
super
this,
red lips.
Superman flies back to civilization, and he returns Luthor to prison and Lois home. At the Daily Planet the following day, Clark finds Lois upset about knowing a secret and not being able to be open about her true feelings, for Clark, I assume. And he kisses her, using his abilities to wipe her mind of her knowledge of the past few days.
Super psyche.
Yeah.
Later, Clark
like
returns
Men
to
in
the
Black.
diner and has a rematch with Rocky, where he defeats him very easily and throws him out the window.
Look this way.
Or throws him into the
Everyone look here.
pinball machine.
Yeah.
And then Superman restores the damage done by Zod, replaces the flag atop of the White House, and tells the president he will not abandon his duty again. That is completely different from the ending we got.
Yeah.
The ending we got
The Superman 1 ending.
Yeah.
has him drop off Lois, her crying because she's like, I'm upset, blah, blah, blah.
We can't be together.
We can't be together for some
for
reason.
some reason, but I love you. You love me.
I think that ending makes more sense if she was at the Daily Planet and she was like, I can't show that I love Clark.
Yeah.
This is a workplace environment.
Okay.
But also, I don't like the ending of using the time travel to fly around the Earth again.
Right, but it wouldn't have been again, you know?
Yeah. It was actually the first time
Yeah.
Yeah.
that they reshot the first one.
That's cool that you found that out. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, he his ending, he reverses time not only to the beginning of this movie, to the last movie when the missile headed out into space, and he stops that from blowing up and freeing them. So he pretty much erases everything that happened in this movie.
Yep.
None of it happened, and it's just a regular day. He comes into work, he fumbles putting his jacket up, and then Lois is like, "Oh, you can do something, Clark." After he brings up Superman, you can go get us a pizza.
It ends on the day that the movie started.
Yeah.
Yep. So the movie didn't happen, basically.
Don't worry,
Not
Lois.
at all.
Yeah. Don't worry, Lois. I'll pay for the whole pizza.
Yep. And then we see him flying out into space.
The
La,
same
la, 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 la,
scene
I am
from the
Superman.
first movie
Yes.
when he flew out in space.
Yep.
Do they ever show up again?
Who?
Zod?
No.
They don't. Okay. But
Well,
they could.
They could.
Yes. Then it shows them. They never came out of the Phantom Zone, so they were still just flying around.
Yep.
And that's the movie. So,
Above Superman 1.
Above Superman.
how many of us think that this is above Superman 1?
Yes.
So, the current ranking is Superman 2, number 1. Superman 1, number 2.
I already know what my number 1's gonna be.
Do you?
Yeah.
Is it going to be Superman Returns, or is it going to be Man of Steel?
We will see.
I'm betting on. I know you
spoilers.
hate Henry Cavill.
I don't
As,
hate
you
him.
you hate him as Superman though. You don't like him as Superman
I
because
don't care for it, no.
he doesn't smile. It's too gloomy.
And when he does, it's...
So I want to say Man of
Yes,
Steel,
ma'am.
but I think
Yes,
you
ma'am.
Might,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
might say Superman Returns.
It's very interesting.
Very interesting in the psyche.
Very
of-
interesting.
The psyche.
As
of
far as
Ivy
villains
Davis.
go, how do you think, based on the first two movies, we've got Lex Luthor as the main villain, and we have General Zod and his cronies. Who ranks above the other?
Well, Zod, obviously.
Zod.
I think
yeah.
Zod. I think Zod too.
Because this version of Lex is just
Lex is just a sniveling idiot in
Yeah.
this movie. I'm sorry.
he is.
Like, he doesn't do anything that really mattered. He's just there.
I mean, in the first.
I mean, he pits the villains against each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll go with that.
He does.
Well, does he though? I mean, no, he doesn't pit the villains against each other. He betrays Superman for 3 villains that want to kill him.
Mhm.
He doesn't make them fight each other
And the
at
entire
all.
human
He does. He
race,
leads
which
them together.
Superman
Yeah.
is not proven to want
He
to
leads
do.
them to each other. He does make them fight.
Yeah, but he
Let
doesn't
them
make the
fight.
villains fight. He makes them fight Superman.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
His
Also,
villains are Superman
like,
and them.
like Lex's whole reason for hating Superman, I think it's
Yeah.
just because he hates
Yeah.
him, not because he's scared of him.
Yeah.
It's not Lex Luthor. They could have came up with a new character for him.
But it is Gene Hackman,
Yeah.
which I love.
Which
I like Gene
that's true.
Hackman.
Gene Hackman's great.
Gene Hackman.
Wait
is
a
incredible.
minute.
He's
Wait.
100% himself
Yes.
in these movies.
But
And he's
himself is not Lex.
By the
Luthor.
way, he was very against the prison scenes because he actually had to wear the ball cap. But then they had to convince him. They were like, "Well, where would you keep your wigs in prison?" He was like, true." So that is the only reason we had bald Lex Luthor at the first of the movie in the prison,
Wow.
because
I
he
still
realized that he couldn't keep his little thing of wigs in there.
I still love the fact you told us about how the director made him shave his mustache by saying, "I'll shave mine."
Yeah.
And he didn't even have one. He just
Yep.
wore a fake one.
Yep.
And after he shaved, he's like, "All right, here I go."
Good old Richard Donner. But that was Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut. We hope you enjoyed this video. If we got anything wrong with the original cut of Superman, please
Probably did.
let us know. We more than likely
quite
did,
likely.
since we didn't see the damn movie. But what we did see was Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut. So we hope you enjoyed this watch-along / review / whatever. We will join you back again with Superman 3, a movie that includes the great comedian Richard Pryor. It's all downhill from here.
It's all down
Can't wait.
here.
It's all downhill from here, folks. Thank you.
Why couldn't we have done Batman?